Hey everyone, now that it has quieted down here at the campground, I can go ahead and shoot this week's Windsor real estate market update. So for the week ended last Saturday, we had 1,012 active listings in Windsor, LaSalle-Tecumseh. There were 162 for rent, there were 188 over 950, and normal people's houses were 662. If we look at Kingsville, again 196 of active inventory, 36 for rent, 57 over 950, and normal people 103. If we look at Leamington, Essex, and Kingsville, there were 284, 19 were rentals, 60 were above 950, and normal people 217. If we look at Lakeshore, there were 120, 7 of them were rentals, 50 were above 950, and 63 were for normal people. So you can see how I'm starting to break out a little bit: Amherstburg, Leamington, Lakeshore, Kingsville, that area. What's interesting is all of the real estate offices are opening up offices out in the county, and I find that strange because there's just not a whole lot of volume going on out there. The dollar prices are higher. The average selling price in the city of Windsor is $560,000. Out there, the average selling price is about $750. So they are making a couple bucks more for that volume. Looking at the week, I always like to pause around this so that people can see what's going on. There were 63 houses that sold in Windsor, LaSalle-Tecumseh, and we had 37 of them were overbid. 37 overbid. So we're about 55% overbid, about 45% at bid or underbid. So the market is changing a little bit. We are slowing down a little bit as we head towards our school year beginning, and this is kind of that lull before school starts. So we'll see what happens from there. Not anything in the data sets again that screams, uh-oh, look out. But there is one thing that's very interesting. It used to be that our $1 million houses needed to take big price reductions, and you notice that here, 1.47, 1.3 is what it sold for. So it took a big reduction in pricing point. 1.58, 1.47. That's a big reduction. $110,000, I think you would agree, is a big reduction. But we're also starting to see some of those big reductions come in here: 799, 740, 749, 735, 749, 725, 724, 699. So we are starting to come up from the bottom into some price reductions. So that's interesting information. But then when we get into normal people houses, 660, 650, that's not a big reduction. $10,000, no big deal. 649, 615, no big deal. 559, 559, right at the same number on this house on Elrose. And Elrose, $559,000. That's a heck of a lot of money. It was a 3+2, so it was 5. But that's still a heck of a lot of money. Here in Riverside, Belle Isle View, 866 Belle Isle View, 444. Overbid still in Riverside. Riverside's holding up very well. Everything else is a little bit interesting, to say the least. So this was what was also amazing. There were 49 houses that were listed at 2.0% competing realtor commission. And we're going to get into the middle of that and talk a little bit about how dangerous that actually is. And then there were only 2 houses that were 2.25% commission, and there were only 12 houses that were 2.5% commission. What is happening is that the realtors are taking the listings for 5%, and they're paying themselves 3%, and they're paying everybody else 2%. And that now is an industry standard and an industry norm because we're up to 49. That's a massive sum of houses that are doing that, a massive sum of selling realtors that are doing that, and it actually causes all kinds of problems. We're going to dive into that a little bit. When we look at days on market, 2.0% sell side commissions took 21 days to sell on average. 2.25 took 11 days to sell on average, and 2.5 took 18 days to sell on average. So you can see that by choosing 2.0, your house is going to be on the market for a longer period of time. Also, if we get over here into our data sets for the rest of the market, we listed $34,460,000 worth of houses for the week. That was a good number for the city of Windsor, especially in the summertime. It's variable, especially just before we go back to school. That's all fine. $35,518,000 are the houses that sold. So we did sell. The average selling price in the city of Windsor was $563,000, which has remained very steady. Steady Eddie is the term for Windsor real estate, which is good if you're investing in Windsor real estate. If you own a house, I'm an investor in Windsor real estate. My house value has stayed very steady Eddie, which is a great thing. Now that interest rates are being cut by the Bank of Canada because they fear that the economy is shifting, that will help as well too, because that will just drive more activity over time. We're not seeing that yet because they just cut interest rates. We'll see that as we filter into the fall. And again, 546,990, 547,000 was the average listing price in the city of Windsor, Essex County, or Windsor, LaSalle, Tecumseh, the area that I watch. 563 average selling price. Average over, if you're out there bidding for a house and a house is listed at $300,000 and it's fairly priced according to your realtor, you can expect that that house will sell for about $317,000. And I think there was one of those, yeah. So this one here was listed at $300,000 on Westminster, 905 Westminster, was listed at $300,000 and it sold for $318,500, which is right in its overbid. It took 14 days to sell it to, which is below the average of 20.5. So the average days on market is 20.5. 20.5, a little bit less than 3 weeks to sell your house should you be listing it. Now, again, this is so important, but no listing realtor talks about this because they want to pay themselves. And this is all game theory around real estate commissions. So if we look at the houses, the average over was $16,800. If we look at the houses that were listed at 2.0 competing realtor commission, they only got 78.03% of the average over. So they only got about $13,109 over. $13,109 is their average over bid. So if you listed your house at $300,000, you got about $313,000 for it if you paid a 2.0% competing realtor commission. If you paid 2.25 competing realtor commission, congratulations, you crushed it. You got 292.05% over average bid, and that was $65,852. So congratulations for those two individuals who chose to list their house at 2.25. They did exceptionally well for the week. Those few that listed at 2.5% average selling commission got 162.15%, or about 27,000 over on average. So if you're looking for a house, your realtor that's out there driving you around should only be showing you the houses listed at 2.0 commission for them. The reason for that is that you will be paying about $14,000 less for that house than if you were paying 2.5% commission, or that the seller was paying 2.5% commission to them. Math, is it worth it? The average sale price was $564,000 in the city of Windsor. I rounded it up a little bit for the week. If you listed at 2.0, you got about $11,280 of that average over bid. If you listed at 2.5, you got about $17,690 of the average over bid. And if you listed at 2.5, you got about $14,100 of the average over. Oh, wait a second. Sorry. Cross that off. If you list at 2.0, your commission structure is $11,280 2.25, 12,690, 2.5, 14,100. So you can see that you're paying about $3,000 more to list at 2.5, but you're getting about $14,000 more. So who wouldn't want to spend $3,000 to get $14,000? I would do that every day. Happily do that every single day. So 14.1 minus 11.8 is 28.20 in difference in the commission plus HST 366, 31.86. 31.86. So people that listed at 2% commission are saving $3,186, but they're losing $14,000 up here. Doesn't make any sense, does it? That's the whole point of all of this. So if we look at 13,109 versus 27,236, that's 14,127 difference. And by 49 houses that chose to list it to 2.0, that means that in the city of Windsor, we left about $692,223 on the table by not choosing the right commission structure from a game theory perspective. And that was about $10,987 per house. So about $11,000 per house for those that decided, yeah, let's go ahead and list it 2% competing realtor commission instead of 2.5 competing realtor commission. Now, when you sit with your listing agent, they will talk to you all day long about 5% commission, but you have to watch the paperwork. You sign the paperwork. You initial the paperwork. On the very front page of a listing agreement talks about the competing realtor commission down at the bottom 25% of the front page. If that says 2.0, that's what you're paying, 2.0, and you're going to underperform. If that says 2.5, you're going to overperform. So if a realtor comes into you and puts paperwork to you that shows 2.0 to the competing realtor, they're going to have you underperform mathematically. I show it to you every single freaking week. Why would you do that? You control, you decide the commission that you're paying when you sell your house. It's illegal not to in Canada. So at the end of the day, why would you choose 2.0 if you know week after week after week after week after week 2.0 underperforms? Mathematically, it just underperforms. You should fire that realtor that comes to you and says, yeah, I want 3%, we're going to give 2% because you're going to underperform. Fire them, kick them out of the house. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate your time with me today. This ends our meeting. I will call another realtor. Have a great day. Okay, just out the door. Unless they're doing something for you. If they're giving you a $1,400 technology package, then yeah, they gotta make that money up someplace. And they should take 3% for themselves and 2% for the competing realtor because the technology package would probably overperform for you. Don't know for sure. It's not been tested and tried. There's one realtor I know of that's starting to do that right now, because he believes that with the technology it will overperform, and we're going to see that. Once he gets some listings, I'm going to show you that. But you shouldn't be doing 2.0 if all they're going to do is come out with their phone and take photos. You're going to underperform. You should be getting something for that 3%, other than just listing on the MLS. I'm a realtor. Okay? So, but that's all up to you. I just see Canadians making these stupid decisions every single week, and that is just so sad. Look at all the people looking down the road at you. But anyway, so that is your market update from the campground here. I am going to go out to lunch and go sit out and have some mint juleps and watch the ocean go by. We are up here in Simcoe, Turkey Creek, where we have our camper at, and it's a beautiful day here. It's probably 26 degrees with a beautiful breeze in the shade. As you can see, I'm in the shade here with my drink, with the fireplace here. It's all good. But that gives you the update, a little bit of breakdown. Now, if I'm taking your listing, if it's an estate sale and I'm doing all of the work, getting the house empty and everything, I do charge 3% for that. And then I pay the competing realtor 2.0% commission. But it's also about the relationship that we all have with realtors. And it comes down to pricing points and all kinds of different factors into that variable as well too. But if you'd like to have a conversation around Windsor real estate about buying or selling a house in Windsor, please don't hesitate to give me a jingle at 519-995-6145, 519-995-6145. This is Brian signing off from the campground. I will go back to camping. Have a great day. Bye-bye.